Can you see my breath? I can't either. Nah, not yet. But it's a chilly morning today here. It is 35 degrees Fahrenheit or 1 degree Celsius, and it feels like 24 degrees Fahrenheit, which I believe is minus 5 degrees centigrade, Celsius, however you call it. Oh my gosh. It's a brisk day to inspire us for sadhana. And what I also found out, thank you, Elizabeth, for telling me, is it is World Kindness Day. So how can that apply to the Bhagavad Gita? And by the way, every day or every year, November 13th is World Kindness Day. I had no idea. The theme for this year's World Kindness Day is, and I'm going to make sure I read it so I get it right, from self-centeredness to collective well-being. So I think I interrupted my sentence before. What in the world does that have to do with Bhagavad Gita and you? Well, Bhagavad Gita means the song of the divine. And as I've mentioned before, the word Bhagavan has the connotation of the divine being that's personally interested in you, not some mechanistic deity or force that sets the universe in motion and then goes off and does other things. But it's invested, and it's invested in you as an embodied individual. In my view, the whole Bhagavad Gita is an exercise of collective kindness over self interest. Krishna, who is said to be a divine embodiment, and you can look at that as an avatar or someone who's embraced spiritual principles so much that they have transcended to the next level, he really walks his talk. He is there for both of his sets of cousins. One is a selfish set, and Krishna says you can have whatever you want, and the selfish set takes things that ultimately lead to their self destruction, little s self. And then the Pandavas, including Arjun, Krishna's best friend, who asked Krishna just for his company and his love and his guidance. Instead of little self-interest, they're looking out for big self-interest. And one could say Krishna is the ultimate example of that. One thing I've been reflecting upon very recently is how power does indeed corrupt. When we have power over others, and I'm thinking of like the Stanford prison experiment, for example, where college students were, half the class was given the power of being prison guards and the other half was relegated to being the prisoners, and what that did to both sets of beings. It's kind of horrible to think about how easily and in how short a time power will corrupt the average human being. So here's a being, Krishna, an embodied being with almost infinite power. Even as a child, he was slaying demons. He does things that seem impossible. He gives universal visions and revelations. And yet, if you read the Gita, if you read the Mahabharata, he's doing nothing in it for his own self-interest. He's doing it all for the greater good of his family, his country, his world, and ultimately the cosmos. So today's practice is dedicated to Sue. May this practice bring you well-being. And also to the entire world. I mean, this practice, I initially thought I was doing it for myself, but based on the connections I've gained to you, I'm hoping it does have a benefit that's wider. So let's do our practice. We'll start with our pose. Be kind to yourself. And then we'll come back for the meditative practice. switch sides. Alrighty. If you noticed, I was facing the sun today. Part of that is I was realizing the sun is really an example of this selflessness. I mean, the sun, what benefit does it get from shining? But what benefit does the whole world get from the sun shining? It's astonishing. Okay, I'm going to go sit in the grass because the stones are really flipping cold, and we'll see you in 5 minutes. Contemplate just for today. How can you be a little less self-centered and more focused on the collective good or the good of the big S, self? Let's see what comes up. welcome back. Any particular thoughts came to mind, you are most welcome to share them. I love sharing with you. And as a reminder, we've got the celebration of sadhana, acknowledging the end of this 1 year long program coming up in December. Please see below for a link to the workshops page that will help you see either that event, or if you're watching this later, later events. And I'd just like to say that, you don't have to, you can attend free. You can also donate based on what you feel you got out of the program. And since it's World Kindness Day, I'll say I'm really touched by the generosity and the response, people signing up and donating. Thank you. Thank you for your kindness. May you experience kindness today and provide it also. It can feel good to be kind. Notice if that happens for you. And I really look forward to when we get to see each other again. So until then.